Welcome back to my Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Shall we see what's going on on our lovely little island of Fawnhollow today in what's probably the latest episode, almost certainly the latest episode of Animal Crossing New Horizons I've recorded in this series. I debated whether or not I was actually going to record this or not because it's so late. I'll get on to why it's so late in the first place. But I decided, you know what, I've got to do it. The commitment to having an episode uploaded every single day for the past 400 days or so, just give out a few days or something in the middle there. That's what's important. So good evening everyone. Right now in Fawnhollow it's 11:05 PM on Friday, May 28th, 2021. Actually it's not, it's actually 5 past midnight and it's May 29th. And I took the day back 1 hour just so we could get that announcement. But anyway, now for today's announcements. Tomorrow Fawnhollow bids a fond farewell to our dear friend Bruce. It's hard to say goodbye, but we wish him luck on his next big adventure. Be sure to stop by for one last chat before he leaves. Maybe bring some tissues? That's all for today. Have a fun day out there. I actually booted us up at midnight, but then I was like, oh, I don't think we'll be able to talk to Bruce if it's past midnight because I think cranky villagers go to sleep at midnight. But Isabel had a little thing where she was like, oh, I hope I can make it through this announcement. Something from Lily. Dear, I've been thinking we could take our friendship to the next level if we had a shared interest. You know, I have a weak spot for handicrafts. This gift is my best attempt to convert you to my craft happy ways. Covered in glue, Lily. So this is actually, yes, an episode I'm recording at midnight, which is basically the time it should be going up as per usual, so hence my much more hushed tone. And you might ask, why, dear darling, are you recording a video so late? Well, the thing is I was busy for this entire day, for reasons I'll get into, but I was like, my intention was to wake up this morning. I woke up around 8 and I was like, okay, I'll record the Animal Crossing video episode this morning. Turns out I didn't quite have enough time to get that done, so I was like, okay, I'll do it when we come back. We came back quite late. Around midnight, so not around midnight, it was actually around 11, but you know, obviously I had to clean up, you know, change, get into makeup. I'm actually the comfiest I've probably ever been in any of these Animal Crossing videos, seeing as I'm just wearing my pyjamas essentially. I don't know if we can still talk to Bruce, but because today, or well rather yesterday for me right now, was my dear friend Benedict's birthday. Happy birthday, Benedict. Ooh, we spent a day out in London, of course abiding by what's the word? Lockdown protocols. Sorry, my brain's completely frazzled because I've obviously been talking for a whole day, socialising, that sort of thing, so I'm very mellowed out right now, unsurprisingly. Abiding by protocols, you know, social distancing and having a couple of nice meals, and we gave Benedict his birthday gift. But I think I've spoken about this before. We, me, Ali, William, Benedict, we all give each other like circles of gifts, like each time our birthday rolls around, and it's all in good fun. But first of all, we'll get into it after we finish talking to Bruce. What if it ain't burrito? You know I'm moving away tomorrow, right? I gotta say, there's never a dull moment with you around. Thanks for that, kiddo. I'm sorry to see you go, Bruce. I think I'm gonna have to do an actual sit down and do some thinking about where I'm headed next. If you run into me again, come message. Don't worry about that. Don't be shy about coming over and saying hello, okay? Take care of yourself, kiddo. See you when I see you. Gahaha. Bruce, you've been a very dear friend of mine, and it's super sad to see you go. But I know you've got great new horizons ahead of you, and whichever island you move to next, I'm sure you'll bring a lot of laughter and joy to them as well. So, farewell, good friend. He didn't even see me wave goodbye. Or did he? But yes, what was I saying? It was Benedict's birthday, so of course we went into London and spent some time in London. Doing some nice things. We went to a place, maybe it should be a bit more vague, but we did a lot of shopping basically. I played a round of mini golf and that was good fun. My feet ache because I've been standing up basically the entire day. You might say, hey, what did you buy? But I just did some like makeup shopping, not really all that much because obviously clothing sales aren't on right now, so I'm just hesitant to buy any clothing. But there were a few makeup deals, so I bought some I bought like a new lipstick, a new eyeshadow palette, I bought a new eyeliner because my old one is drying out and running out, and you know, can't have that, otherwise it's quite difficult to do anything with. Sell fruit, chop wood, catch fish, catch bugs, dig up fossils. Okay. What else did I buy? I bought some other stuff. I bought some nail polish, remover, and that sort of thing. Not very interesting what I bought. But yeah, we just had a very nice time. But obviously, as it turns out, I didn't have a lot of time to record Animal Crossing videos, so I was actually, as I came home, and I got changed and everything, and I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't record it, you know. Well, what's wrong with me missing a day? But I feel like part of the commitment to it is, but you get these fun stories like this, you know. Each day is wild and different from every single other, and sometimes you're going to find out that if you have a commitment to doing something each and every day, sometimes you got to do it at very weird times, or sometimes you're going to do it when it's like, not when you not necessarily don't want to, because I do love playing Animal Crossing, I do love just talking randomly in these videos, but when not necessarily is the most opportune time to. So even though it's not the most opportune time to right now, I think it makes a great story right now, because previously I think the latest I recorded an episode might have been around 11, 10ish maybe. If you're wondering, that New Year's episode was not recorded out of New Year's. I recorded it I think at like 10 AM or something, but then I just like fast forwarded. I time traveled to around 12 PM to simulate the, oh hello CJ, the New Year's countdown. We're catching fish and bugs, I forgot, sorry. My brain is totally frazzled. Ooh, bug. Excuse me, Joy-Con drift. But yeah, so there's a nice new latest one, because I remember one of them, I've definitely recorded videos after 9 PM before, because I used to record them past 9 PM and like just try and catch fish, like late night fish, and then I stopped doing that because that was much more of a nuisance than it should be, because obviously when it's late at night I don't want to talk too loudly, because you know, there's obviously I don't want to wake anyone up. I'm more mellowed out myself, so I talk more calmly, and my brain's not really going all that quickly, so I'm sort of a bit like not, I won't say frazzled when I'm talking, it's just like I don't know what to say. So yeah, normally the video goes up about now, my time, so this one's gonna come up maybe about 3 hours later, or down the line, or whatever. Late night, you know, staying up late night. Do you remember when, well, I should say do you remember, because I don't know how old you are, but from my perspective, do you remember when you were younger and how staying up late was always so exciting? I always found it so exciting on New Year's when we were allowed to stay up late. You know, past like midnight, it's like that's the only day, because you can count the New Year's in, and you always try and stay up late. Sometimes you fall asleep depending how old you are. I remember when I was I celebrated New Year's in China, I think, and I just like fell asleep and slept through it, the entire thing. Or maybe it was a Christmas, I can't really remember. Same sort of deal. But now it's, you know, not all too uncommon for me to go to sleep past midnight or 1. Of course, I'm not usually recording videos if it's late. Much more often I would just be like playing some games, finishing some things off, watching some casual videos myself, just before I hop into bed, curl up and for a nice night's of sleep. You know, to get up a good early start for tomorrow morning, but here we are instead. Playing Animal Crossing New Horizons instead. Not that that's a bad thing. What? I don't actually know if we got a moth model, because I don't often play at night time. Unfortunately, Celeste is unlikely to be here tonight, so I can't show you a conversation with Celeste. I believe she only comes on days where there are meteor showers, because there's always a meteor shower guaranteed each week or something. Not necessarily a big one, but some form of one. But it more often happens on cloudy days and on clear days and cloudy days. So here we are. Still need to get some Celeste recipes. But yeah, late nights. It's weird to think about how you used to have like a curfew, like a bedtime that you used to have to go to sleep. And I gotta say, my parents are much more lax when it came to it, so my bedtime was considerably later than a lot of my other friends. I remember back in what year was I in? Year 1 or year 2 or something? I invited a friend round. I can't remember why. Actually, she came round, but she came round rather late at 5, like PM or something. I think maybe, I don't know, she had to pick something up from us, and then, you know, we played for a bit. I can't remember exactly the circumstances, but then I was like, she had to go home around like 5:30 or something. It was because her bedtime was 6 PM. Her bedtime was 6 PM. Can you imagine? I was like, what? My bedtime's like 9 PM or something, or maybe even 10 about, probably not 10, probably 9. Which is, you know, later than usual. A lot of other people's had bedtimes around 8 and 7, I think. But it was like 6 PM. It's just like, you immediately eat dinner at 5 and then just go to sleep. And then, you know, kids normally wake up at like 8 or something. She's gonna go to sleep for like 14 hours? Okay, maybe not 8. Probably like 7. I can't imagine she's waking up at 6, but maybe she is. Or she was, I should say. Not is, you know, it's that's quite a few years ago. This is back in primary school. It was just astonishing to me. I was shocked. Like, not through the concept of bedtime, but the fact that hers was so early compared to what I was used to. And I mean, to be fair, mine was bedtime was later than compared to most other people's, I think, about age. But it's just weird. Anyway, the concept of bedtime is a bit strange. Like, obviously it makes sense because if unregulated, kids will kind of do whatever they want and go to sleep at like 2 AM, which you can't really have. And then I don't know where I was getting with this. But then as you get older, obviously you're meant to expect your kid to be a bit more, I'm not going to say rigorous, but like a bit more in accordance to sensible, I should say, you know. They'll go to sleep at times which make sense for them, rather than times which are just a bit crazy for them. Which is why you can... Scorpion! You expect me to catch a scorpion? Oh, I guess it's past 9 PM, so I could. Are these peak times for scorpion? Probably not. We only need to catch bugs now. Hello, Vivian. Do we have enough inventory space? Oh, in fact, we have no inventory space. So let's go sell some things. Oh, actually, you know what? We could look... Try and have a look for Wisp. He might be around, out and about. I'm not sure if I've done a video with him. Surprisingly, in all these 400 videos. I never decided to record one of him. Yeah, let's sell some stuff. Let's sell this stuff. Not that, not that. Not that. Keep that. Sell this. Keep the surgeon fish. Sell that. Sell that. Sell that. But bedtimes and late nights and that sort of thing. This is weird because obviously I didn't have a bedtime in secondary school. Maybe around GCSE age onwards. I honestly can't remember. But it's kind of expected that I go to bed at a reasonable hour because, you know, at that time I got responsibility myself. I know the effects of going to sleep late is not... Oh, I get to stay up late playing games, doing whatever I want. It's, oh man, school's going to suck the next day because I've got like no hours of sleep. And you know, to be fair, some kids try and make it into a competition. When you get sleeping, like, oh, I only got like 4 hours sleep last night. You know, it's like... When you're younger, that's cool. It's like, whoa, you stayed up till midnight? That's so cool. But then when you get older, you're just like, what are you doing? Just like, go to sleep. Because I think everyone has that when they wake up in the morning and be like, oh, I should have gone to sleep at a more reasonable time. It's not even necessarily a more reasonable time. It's more like you should go to sleep at something which is in accordance to your sleep cycles. You should make sure you have some sort of like screen dimming thing so you don't see much blue light when you look at a screen, or like even better, don't look at a screen for like the hour or so before bed. I don't really stick to that, so I use Flux. Although mind you, I will say that my the Switch obviously doesn't have a blue light filter on. I think about it. So you know what? Maybe I should just... I normally use my computer monitors to play. Maybe I should just use OBS to play this time, because OBS will be on my computer monitor, which will have a blue light filter. And it's something like blue light triggers your reflex that you think it's daytime because of the sky is blue or something like that. In fact, let's bring OBS over here, make it full screen so I can actually use it as a screen. And I'll just play off an OBS screen, so I got that blue light filter, so it's not as harsh blues on my eyes. I think that's how it works. I can't really remember. You got a whole new life at night time waiting for you. So yeah, the blue light filter is quite a good thing. Well, the problem is, you know, a lot of the times I, you know, do works. I do stuff like programming in the morning and other stuff I need to do, and then it's at night time around like 7 PM onwards when I do my drawing stuff. It's kind of annoying as a hobbyist artist like me, because if I need to colour something, I'm just like, oh, I'm not sure exactly what colour this is, because obviously I've got a blue light filter on. It's going to warp all the my colour perception. So what I can do technically is I can turn it off, be like a late night worker or something. Let's see, do we have a moth? I mean, we got the Atlas moth or whatever it's called. I don't think we have a regular odd moth now. I'm looking. I don't think we have a surgeon fish either, but I can't really remember. Excuse me, I'm obviously quite tired right now. It's been an exhausting day. But yeah, I've sent Benedict my own personal digital gift as well. I gave him a nice little drawing of all the like games we played. Of It Takes Two, We Were Here, all three of them, Unrailed and Biped. I did a little drawing of myself as a deer, him and his mouse. The stamp rally is still going on, that is actually astonishing. And that's my little digital card to him, because now I'm getting good at drawing. I can actually give people like artistic gifts and it not feel like, oh, you know, Well, not like people will always appreciate it, but to me it'll just be like a I want to give something I can be proud of, right, rather than something which is like I'm not happy with. Oh, he's actually replying right now. He's on his phone. I saw he's logged on to Discord. Hopefully he likes it. I'll tell you his response live. If he hates it, then that'll be that. And, you know, I'll end the episode right here and just be like, that's all, folks. Apparently he's not gone to sleep. He's probably in bed. That's why, you know, that's smart. I still got to do my... It sounds so lame. I've got to play my gacha games and do my daily missions and all that sort of thing. Because I haven't done that yet. The server reset for Genshin's in 3 hours. Or 2 hours. Was it? You're still awake, Lily? That's amazing. So gotta obviously get that sorted. Shiny colours. Server resets at like 8 PM. That's right. I did it after 8 PM last night already as well. So I'm thinking ahead. Starlight stage. No, Starlight stage I've also resets at 4 PM. So you know, perfectly fine. It's just, you know, in the famous words of whoever sings the song, I was going to name the artist, I actually can't think who sings it. The song All Night Long. Who sings it? I should know this. Hold on. All Night Long. Lionel Richie! Of course. I'm so dumb. In the infamous words of Lionel Richie was singing All Night Long. I guess all night long. I didn't really have much like following up from that, to be honest. We can actually see he was illuminated. Aww. He said, "Oh, it's adorable. Thank you, dear. I like your emotion in each of the pictures. We should get some fish for CJ. We should sell some stuff as well." Complimentary. We're gonna get an annoying phone call from Timmy or Tommy tomorrow, being like, "Hey, something." Cellstone. That's fine. Sorry, I actually just can't. I just can't have a coherent conversation right now. It's too much for me. My brain can't honestly handle it. But I'm doing my best. I don't know, late night it was always a lot more exciting. I have a response to Benny later. Don't worry about that. I'm not leaving you hanging on his birthday. I mean, I'd spend the whole day with that guy. No. Obviously it was a grand old fun time. Mini golf was pretty fun as well. It was a much more arcadey mini golf than I'm used to, because I mean mini golf is kind of arcadey I suppose in the first place, but it was like what I mean by that is, oh, we should, what now? It's got a phone notification, don't worry, it's nothing important. We need to make an axe, I forgot. Oh no, sorry, my brain is just gone. Put this stuff away, I don't know. My throat hurts as well. I mean, I have been talking the entire day, to be fair. I haven't been like yelling or screaming. I will say, even though like lockdown restrictions have lifted a bit and you still need to like abide by social distancing and all that sort of thing, there's still so many people out and about. Let's get a frog thing, why not? Shout out to Rach if she's watching us. She'll probably like that. We can sell the surgeon fish, we don't need it. What do we need to make an axe? I actually don't remember. I think it's stone, sticks and wood, if I remember. Because it's the only tool I need to make anymore. Why on earth do we have a... Oh, that's a golden one again. Yeah, I don't know. The late night world is always very different from the early world. You know, I used to have Japanese lessons. And in one of the years I took Japanese lessons back in uni. It was... the lessons ended quite late, like around 9 to 10. Which is quite late for regular, some sort of lessons. But it felt even later, like in the winter time, when lessons were going on, because obviously, you know, in winter the days are much shorter. So, hello frog, get out of that space. So by the time I'm walking home, it's like not quite pitch black, but it's extraordinarily dark. Let's grab our Nookmar tickets as well. Honestly, we'll just start printing some of them out so we can start doing some island hopping tomorrow. I don't know how many we need. We're not going to print out all of them, probably. We can. Who cares? But yeah, it's just eerily quiet walking through the city when it's like nighttime. Like obviously there's some nightlife going on, but like I brought down parts which didn't necessarily go by the nightlife, like by clubbing and that sort of thing, or I purposely went out of the way to avoid them because, you know, there's a lot of drunkards out and about. I don't want to have to deal with someone like that. So, you know, walk down the down streets, and it's just so eerily quiet, and I really like it. I gotta say, it was always my favourite when I could walk back to my dorm, I suppose, when it's nighttime and it was like super dark. It felt like an abandoned city. Like, I don't know, obviously that's probably like the introvert part of me, which is like, oh, me being all alone, love this. So anytime it was just me casually walking through an empty ghost city, essentially. I know, something about that is just like a mood, you know? It's like an aesthetic. I mean, obviously I wouldn't want to live in a completely abandoned world. I don't know how many of these we should print out. Maybe we should print out like 50. That would be quite a lot. I think we can probably get through. Like 50 is all of them. Okay, maybe we can print out like 20 or so. I don't know. We'll just see how long 10 minutes of printing takes. It'll be a good test. We started with 17. So yeah, I guess we'll have to be quite rapid tomorrow when we're doing the Nook Mile island hopping. We'll just like walk on the island, see who it is, immediately walk off if it's not someone we want. Maybe talk to them if we do like them. Yeah, but walking the late night hidden city is like a whole new place, because where I went to uni was actually a lot more populated than where I live currently. I live currently in like a smallish village, while where I went to uni was actually a reasonably big city. And it was always, a lot of the times, like in the afternoons when I'm out and about walking, it's like the streets are quite busy, unsurprisingly, and like it's not so busy in my village when I walk, and like the only places which is busy is if I walk along the high street, because that's like where literally anything is. But walking in the city, in my uni city, it was a weird adjustment period where just like walking down the street and just seeing, just randomly bumping into loads of people, like, you know, all you see, and it's just like, oh, there's not even enough room on the pavement to walk, and the pavements are really big anyway. But I don't know how I was going with this, but then if you just wake up super early, like around like 5 AM or something, because I had to wake up 5 AM to, I'm not sure if I talked about this, I did rowing for like a little bit, which I like the society part of it. The actual rowing part, not a big fan of. Sporting, apparently not my sort of thing. Well, no, that's not true, because I did like fencing when I did it. Like waking up super early in the morning when I had to wake up early for like for rowing practice, or being really late but avoiding like the nightlife club, like either late enough that's like 4 AM or late as in like a 11ish when not many people are about, but people are either already, no, maybe more like 12, or people are in the clubs already, or like not outside and you don't hear or as much music. Well, but you kind of do sometimes. It's super strange walking through like a city which was so populated and busy earlier, and now it's not. Even though it obviously makes total sense. Like, of course, people aren't going to be out there during non-peak hours if they can avoid it. But I don't know. It's not like it fills me with dread. It fills me with some sort of, I almost want to say melancholy, but it's not quite melancholy. It's not like I'm sad about the situation. It's like, it is what it is. It's just, it feels, it hits different, you know? That's probably the best way I can put it. And some part of me is just like, the animalistic instinct inside of me is just like, this is what it's like, abandoned city streets, but still illuminated by streetlights. So it's sort of like the implication that people still are alive and thriving and living here, but no one is around to prove it. Of course, this has different connotations because, you know, walking alone at night is often actually kind of scary. Sometimes you don't know who you might run into, but I luckily have not run into anyone shady. And then like the most I run into is people who like asking me for money, and sometimes I'll give them money if I got some. Otherwise, I don't, because I don't always carry money, like cash, with me. And I'm not about to go to an ATM and be like mugged or something. That sounds horrible. Some drunkards as well. I don't know. Not much even particularly interesting. So just random stuff happens. I can't remember why, but like I went to Ali's house. It was a few years back or something, and I don't know why I was there. I was there quite late for some reason. Met with this just random person, like a KFC. We had like a late night KFC. What was I doing there? For the life of me, I can't remember. And I don't know. he was quite a character. You meet so many weird characters at like late night stuff, you know. That's why we always say like 2 a.m. at a gas station or something. If you're American, I guess petrol station for us is utterly bizarre. But yeah, for all walks of life and personalities you find, you know. From drunkards to people down on my luck, to the people who just want like the nightlife, to people who just like, you know, couldn't sleep and went on a walk around town. It's not strange, but it feels like a different world, I suppose. I think that's what it sort of feels like. You stepped into a parallel dimension. The world is familiar. The world is uncanny. It's an uncanny valley. It's familiar, but it's strange at the same time. Everything looks the same, but at the same time the atmosphere is different. And I guess that sort of weird feeling, rather than making me feel uncomfortable and the uncanniness of it, actually, I guess it's kind of comforting in ways, you know? Seeing the world in a whole different light. It's not always the same. The world is changing, and you can find your own comfort in it, depending on when you like it, you know? If you live in a busy place and it's for convenience, for work or whatever, for study, but you don't like it, just go out like a late night or minimize your time out in the daytime, that sort of thing, and you'll find a whole new city there waiting for you, more custom to your style, you know? By the way, I'm not suggesting you go out late at night by yourself and not tell anyone. That's a good way, especially depending on different cities have different crime rates and different... Sorry to put such a negative, realistic spin on this. You know, let's keep things wholesome. You already know that. I'm going to assume you already know that. But night walks are really fantastic. Night walks with a friend, you know, when you can just talk about things. I've had many great talks with Milky. Just at night time, I don't even know what we were doing. There's something about night, you know, switches on a different part of your brain, and it's all like, oh, ooh, you want to see things through a different view. And I'm not really a night owl, mind you. I think I talked about this before. I'm not a morning lark. Is it morning lark or is it morning bird? Is morning bird night owl? I'm more of an afternoon lark, and that sort of thing. Well, I do my best in the early to late afternoon. That's when I'm most alive. I mean, maybe when I was a bit younger, I used to be a night owl, but even then, I didn't like staying up super late. The latest I've stayed up, actually no, I've pulled all-nighters before. Would I recommend them? Absolutely not. You're a super non-functional all-nighter, but sometimes you don't really get that choice. Oh, did I talk about that time? We went on a trip to like Switzerland to like see CERN and that sort of thing. That was super fun, super scientific, by the way. Like, actually, that's not even sarcastic, but it sounded super sarcastic on my dry delivery right now. But, yeah, it was super interesting, but, like, our flight back got super delayed, and we ended up landing super late, and we got back to the school at, like, 3 AM or something, and we had school the next day at, like, 7, so I had, like, 4 hours night sleep or something. Like, I think some people actually just stayed up awake from that. I mean, most people took the day off, but, you know, I still went in. I think Ali still went in as well, that sort of thing. Most of us came in, and we just, like, some people apparently just stayed up the entire night. It's like, I cannot recommend that. Staying up all night is a proper good way to completely destroy all your cognitive functions, you know? I mean, your mileage may vary. You might be like, oh, that's when I'm most alive. But for me, especially, you know, yeah, I don't get anything productive done if I stay up that late. But, you know, here I am staying up that late with a late night Animal Crossing episode, and I'm sorry for its delay, if you're even watching this, but for now, I guess we'll round off this episode here in the super late night with Dear Darling, if I ever get my own talk show. That'd be very strange. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, all greatly appreciated. Links down below. I hope we can see each other again, but for now it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now. Oh, well, good night, I should say. Oh, I've got my OBS on the screen. Wow, that was weird.